Have you ever had that feeling that there's something more to reality than meets the eye? A sense that certain moments in your life seem too coincidental, too strange, or too significant to ignore? These events may leave you wondering if there's something more happening behind the scenes. What if I told you that a parallel version of yourself might actually be trying to reach out to you, trying to make contact with the you here in this reality? Imagine this for a moment. Déjà vu, vivid dreams, mysterious synchronicities. At first glance, these could appear to be random or even meaningless experiences. But what if they're actually signals? Brief moments when the barrier between your world and another version of yourself begins to thin, allowing glimpses of another reality. What if these experiences are much more than coincidences? Today we're going to explore the fascinating idea of parallel universes, and how certain signs in your life could be the result of another version of you trying to break through and make contact. What are parallel universes? Before we dive into the signs, it's important to understand what parallel universes are and why they might matter. Parallel universes and the multiverse theory are ideas that have been explored both by scientists and philosophers. The basic concept suggests that our reality is not the only one. There are potentially infinite realities, each representing a different version of the universe. In these parallel universes, everything that could have happened, or will happen, exists in some other world. A parallel universe is essentially a different dimension, one that coexists alongside our own. The laws of physics may be the same, but events, choices, and life paths could unfold in completely different ways. According to the multiverse theory, there is an infinite number of universes, one for every decision you could have made in the past, and each one is as real as the reality you're currently experiencing. But here's the interesting part. What if the boundaries between these universes aren't as solid or as separate as we once thought? Could there be a way for these parallel versions of ourselves to overlap, allowing us to experience moments of connection or even contact? The science behind parallel self-contact. So how could something as intangible as a parallel self make contact with us in our reality? In quantum mechanics, there's a phenomenon known as quantum entanglement. In simple terms, quantum entanglement happens when two particles become linked in such a way that they continue to influence each other, even if they're light years apart. When one particle changes, the other changes instantaneously, no matter the distance. If particles can communicate over vast distances in an instant, could the same principle apply to consciousness? Could our awareness, or the very fabric of our being, be entangled with another version of ourselves? The idea that consciousness might be a kind of vibrational energy leads us into the realm of string theory. String theory proposes that everything in the universe is made up of tiny vibrating strings of energy. These strings exist across multiple dimensions. If our consciousness is also made of vibrations, could our awareness be connecting us to parallel universes, vibrations that link different versions of ourselves across these dimensions? The thought of consciousness as a type of frequency opens the door to the possibility that parallel versions of ourselves may be reaching out, trying to communicate in ways we might not fully understand. Signs that your parallel self is trying to make contact. Now that we've set the stage, let's take a closer look at some of the signs that might indicate that your parallel self is trying to get your attention. These signs might be subtle, but they could hold deeper meanings. Here are a few common experiences that may be more than just coincidences. Déjà vu. Have you ever had the strange sensation that you've already experienced a moment in your life, even though you know it's happening for the first time? It might feel as though you've been to this exact place or had this exact conversation before. This experience, known as déjà vu, is often baffling and mysterious. But what if déjà vu isn't just a glitch in your memory or your brain misfiring? What if it's actually a brief, fleeting moment when the veil between your reality and another version of you, becomes thin? Perhaps in that instant, you're catching a glimpse of your parallel self, living out the same moment, experiencing it at the same time as you. This could be a sign that your parallel self is trying to make contact or is momentarily overlapping with your reality. Vivid dreams. Have you ever woken up from a dream so vivid, so real, that you wondered if it was actually a glimpse into another life? Maybe you were living a completely different existence, visiting unfamiliar places, or experiencing events that seemed so tangible, it was hard to believe they were just dreams. These types of dreams could be much more significant than you might think. They may be windows into a parallel universe, where another version of you is living a different life. The intensity and clarity of these dreams could be the result of your parallel self's consciousness slipping through the boundaries of its own world and interacting with yours. It's as if your parallel self is trying to give you a message or help guide your decisions by showing you what could have been, or what might still be possible. Repeating numbers, 11, 333, 1777. Do you constantly see the same numbers appearing everywhere you go? Perhaps you notice patterns in numbers, such as seeing 1111 on the clock, 333 on a license plate, or 777 at the checkout counter. It may seem like coincidence at first, but the truth is that these repeating numbers are often seen as more than just random events. In metaphysical circles, repeating numbers are often referred to as angel numbers, and they are believed to be messages from the universe, higher beings, or even from different versions of ourselves. If you're seeing these numbers frequently, they could be a sign that your parallel self is trying to communicate with you. Perhaps it's offering guidance, encouragement, or even a warning. Pay attention to the context in which these numbers appear. They might be signaling important moments or decisions in your life that are being influenced by your parallel self. Synchronicity and coincidences. Have you noticed that certain events or experiences in your life seem to happen with uncanny timing? Maybe you hear the same name over and over, come across the same symbols or signs repeatedly, or experience a string of coincidences that seem far too perfect to be random. This type of synchronicity, where events in your life align in ways that seem too meaningful to be coincidental, could indicate that your parallel self is trying to make its presence known. These synchronicities might be messages or nudges, encouraging you to make certain choices or guiding you toward paths that align with your highest self. The more aware you are of these patterns, the more you might begin to see how your reality is intertwined with the realities of your parallel selves. Unexplained thoughts and memories. Have you ever had a memory of something that never actually happened to you in this life? Perhaps you've suddenly been flooded with thoughts about a place you've never visited or a person you've never met. These memories might feel deeply real, even though they don't align with your actual life experience. Or maybe you've had an overwhelming urge to take a new direction in life, to make a drastic change, or to pursue something that doesn't make sense to your current situation. These thoughts or feelings might be coming from your parallel self, influencing you from another timeline. It's as if your other self is reaching out, nudging you toward choices that will align your current path with the path that's most authentic for you. What does this mean for you? If parallel versions of yourself really exist and are capable of making contact, it opens up fascinating possibilities. What does it mean for your choices and the direction your life is taking? Perhaps these signals are trying to guide you, offering help or warnings. They could be encouraging you to make changes that will lead you to a more fulfilling life, or they could be urging you to avoid certain pitfalls that another version of you has already encountered. The multiverse is a concept that can be both scientifically and spiritually intriguing. If these parallel selves truly exist, then it's possible that we're more connected to different versions of ourselves than we ever realized. Perhaps your parallel self is not just trying to communicate with you, but to help you live your most authentic and aligned life. What do you think? Have you ever experienced strange synchronicities or unexplained moments that seem to connect you with another reality? Let us know in the comments. And if you found this video intriguing, don't forget to like and subscribe for more captivating content about the mysteries of the universe.